Hello and welcome to a new episode of Airport CEO here on BongoPlanes, where today will continue our work on the airport, trying to further improve it, and hopefully we can also sign a few more airlines so that we can increase the traffic here at the airport. All that and much more right after the drop. As always, before we get too far into today's episode, if you should end up enjoying this video, then don't forget to leave a like. That really does help out the series and the channel. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. Alright, so let's get into today's video, and let me just start off with talking a little bit about how I normally record my episodes, because normally what I do is I fire up the game, I start recording and play for around an hour, and then cut everything down so that you will have a video just around 15 to 20 minutes-ish. Depending on how much I work on in the video, sometimes a little bit shorter, sometimes a little bit longer. But that's about what I do, and then within that hour's playtime, the game slowly loads in offers for airlines, and sometimes during the episode, but mostly at the end of the episode, we then go through the list of offers and see what we can sign. Now, what airline offers are loaded in is not up to me, that's up to the game. I don't really know what really the procedure of the game is for that. I guess one part is something with ratings, so maybe if your airport has a very low rating with airlines, you might not get the best offers, but entirely how this mechanic works, I'm not sure. But anyway, so basically playing for an hour, and then whatever offers have come in within that hour, that's what we work with. But we have been struggling a little bit in the last few episodes where we had some offers, but many of the offers or many of the suggestions that you guys had made just never loaded in, and also some airlines that I really wanted to work with never loaded in. So I thought for this episode, okay, let's let the game run for a longer time. So what I did was basically I started the game and I let it run for about an hour and a half. And during that time I was working on these office buildings, which I'm just finishing up here right now. During that time I was also every now and then looking at the offers coming in. I was also trying to reject some offers, just in case there would be some form of a limit as to how many offers would come in. I was mainly rejecting any offers from the airlines from the vanilla game, because we don't want them at all. But actually they very quickly started reloading into the game again, so I guess we just can't get rid of those. The good news is that a lot of offers were made. The bad news is that many of the offers that we really wanted still haven't loaded in. But I've now been sitting here for about an hour and a half, and I really want to progress with the airport, so I don't want to wait even longer. So we will just head over to the airport and start working on that, and then hopefully within the next hour of, well, me recording this, hopefully we will then get the offers in. I just wanted to let you know why we are struggling so much in getting the airlines in that you have suggested and that I would like to add, and that I'm basically trying everything that I can to really realize that, but it's unfortunately not entirely up to me. Maybe you have any other ideas what else we could do, then do feel free to let me know in the comment section below, because I would really genuinely like to get the suggested airlines in, and especially those that just never seem to load in, because we have the mods activated. There shouldn't be any issue, but they just seem to not appear. Alright, but before we start actually continuing our construction process of the airport, let's quickly take a look at what offers actually have come in so far and see if we can sign any airlines right from the get-go. And of course here again I will pretty much prioritize all the airlines that you have suggested so far. I'm also signing those now that I maybe have neglected so far, because let's just get in everything we can now, just to see, maybe that also helps us then securing other contracts. So let's quickly go through what we have here. We do have Iberia Express, but I actually would like to have the real Iberia. But Vueling was a suggested airline. Doesn't fly there in real life, at least not at the moment, of course. But I guess it's not totally unrealistic that anything from Iberia, Vueling is a part of Iberia, that could come in. Europa was a suggestion as well. And I guess it's because, I mean, Iberia, Vueling is all part of the IAG, which is the parent company of British Airways. So yeah, Etihad was not suggested by anyone, but I'd like to get them in just because the airplanes look really amazing. This mod only has A320, so that would work here as well. Let's see, Brussels Airlines maybe, but I think I'll hold on for that maybe for next episodes. And so we also get, I would really love to have Lufthansa, but it doesn't load in at the moment. Iberia, that was one of the suggestions as well. Let's get them in. Let's see if there's anything else here so far. I know there are other suggestions, but they haven't loaded in yet, and if they haven't loaded in, I just cannot sign them. This is the whole the whole issue with the airport so far. Everything else seems to run really well. I don't think I've ever had an airport run as smoothly as this one, but I just don't get the offers at the moment that I would like to have. And yeah, no, I think that's it. So let's now head over to the airport and continue our construction work here, and then later we will take a look again at the offers and see if other airlines have loaded in. The first thing I really want to work on is actually the whole shopping area, because what I have realized while looking at the airport just run is that our shopping area is way too big. It's way too big. So, of course, with the new signing system or the new contract system, if we sign a shop, that will stay there forever as long as it sells enough. If it doesn't sell enough for too long, the contract will expire. And I already had to sign at least once, re-sign at least once. I'm re-signing here again, and that's because there's just not enough shoppers coming by, or they're just not, the passengers are not buying. I think maybe the game could need a little bit of tweaking there. I think either the requirements for the shops need to be lowered a little bit, or passengers need to shop a little bit more, but that's really the game developers that would need to work on that, and that's just of course my opinion. But I actually quite like the mechanic of that you now have to really think about when you build a shop, that the shop will actually have the chances of selling enough so that they can stay in business, because it really means that you really have to think about the size of the shops you're building and where you're building the shops within the airport. So you really want to concentrate them where you have a lot of people, because chances will be higher that passengers will actually then go to the shop. This is, for example, now why I'm trying to add a little shop here at the baggage retrieval area, because this is one of the busiest parts of the airport. This is where we have some of the most passenger, where we have all the passenger streams coming together, and they're just sitting there and waiting and doing nothing. So I was thinking about just adding a little shop here, because maybe they might just be enticed to go over there doing some shopping while they're waiting for their luggage. I don't know if this will happen, but of course we do see that also in real life. So I think it's worth a try and just be a little bit of a shop here, just to make sure that, yeah, to see if that actually works. Okay, so I would also like to rework a little bit the area on the first floor, because I also think that we have way too much or way too large shopping areas up here. But another thing I would like to work on is actually the international zone. I was actually talking a little bit about maybe we could also add some shops here in this part, but when you look at it, there's barely any passengers going here. That's because they're just going to their gate and then waiting downstairs. So if we were adding shops here, I really don't think that these shops would stay in business, because I don't think there is enough passenger flow in this area. So I think we will continue with our lounges here, but I would like to try out something a little bit different. So in this one area I would normally have just one lounge, but I would like to try and make two lounges within this area, but not separating them by any wall. So it would look like it is one lounge, but it would actually be for two different airlines. Now, the original idea from that was actually one of you guys who had suggested, could you make a Star Alliance lounge? Now, I can't make a Star Alliance lounge because that is not in the game. Airline alliances don't exist in the game, but of course we have the option of making a lounge for any airline. We have already done that as well. But what I would like to do here is basically trying to make these two lounges, one for Swiss, one for Austrian, so kind of a Lufthansa group lounge. I will make a second one next to that, which then could be for Lufthansa and Brussels Airlines once we sign those. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this works. For example, we need to have an information desk, but now I've placed a large information desk right in the middle of these two. So I don't know if the game understands that like one half is working for one side and the other half for the other. We will see. We will see that shortly. But it's just trying out different ways of building, seeing if it works. This is the whole thing with this. We're trying different things out in this airport, trying to build some parts differently than we have done before to see how the game handles it, if it's possible, if it works. If it doesn't work, then we might need to rearrange it a little bit, but we will very shortly see it, as I say. Let's just get in some windows here, make this a little bit prettier. One thing, because we then have two lounges in the same space as we normally would have one lounge, we are, for example, saving the bathroom. Normally these lounges would have bathrooms. Now we are simply saving that, taking that away. We're not offering customers of Austrian Airlines and Swiss won't have the luxury of having a lounge with a bathroom. They would have to go outside. But that's also not totally unrealistic, because there are many lounges where you actually don't have bathrooms. Just go to Geneva Airport. If you go there, the lounges there don't have bathrooms. You would have to go out of the lounge if you needed to use the restroom. So it's not entirely unrealistic, and it saves us a little bit of space, which we then can use for example, tables and seating arrangements. Alright, so as you can see, I already removed the large information desk and now replaced it with two normal information desks, each on one side, and that's simply because I tried to open the lounge and it said requirements were not met. The only thing that was missing there would be the information desk, and as soon as I replaced the one information desk being basically split in half and put a full information desk in each side, I could open them up again. So yeah, so that part we've already learned. The game does not understand that, and you definitely need to have a information desk fully placed inside the lounge room. Okay, so we will want to continue on that a little bit later, but firstly let's go over and look at our shopping area. So in the last episode we actually removed some of the terminal building on ground floor level here to make space for some parking lots, but we never thought about level 1. So actually right now we have this part of the terminal hanging over our parking lots. Well, it's not terrible, but it's space that we really do not need, because these shopping areas would be way too big, these shops would be way too big. They would never ever be able to sustain themselves, they would never ever be able to sell enough for the amount, or with the amount of passengers coming into the airport. And we have to consider the amount of passengers at the airport won't increase that dramatically, because we only have 3 gates left that haven't been opened up. Everything else is open, and with 3 gates, sure, you get more traffic, but not that much more. So the amount of passengers we are seeing here running around at the moment is pretty much the maximum capacity that we have. I mean, there won't be that many more passengers coming through this airport, and we already struggling a little bit with the shops that we have, keeping them afloat. So if we were opening these massive shops, that would just never work. Okay, so let's quickly also take another look if anything else has loaded in, and the sad truth is it doesn't look like it. Let's try to reject them again. These vanilla game airlines, they seem to be very persistent, because I've already rejected them once today before I started the recording, and most of them have loaded in again. Yeah, let's just try to see if we maybe we need to reject some to create some space for new offers. But as I said, I have tried that before, and basically they just loaded in again. Novia is not a vanilla game, but actually a real airline, but I don't think we will be signing them here. Let's quickly go through. That's a vanilla game, that's a vanilla game airline. Yeah, I really am at a loss what else I can do to get more offers in, or get the offers in that we actually want. I mean, I really don't know what else I can do other than just sit here and wait and hope that they load in. Alright, so we reduced the area for the shopping areas a little bit, and then I think we will do these shops then in the next episode, because I would like to just continue a little bit here with the lounge area. Basically just copying what we've done here, so let's copy that. Let's copy that. Hello? What's going on? Game? Okay, I know you can't see the mouse or the cursor, but I cannot click anything. Have we just screwed up the game? I can still select items in the menus, but I can't click anything. What is this? Have we broken the game? Okay, I can still move around, I can still do these things, but I cannot click anything. I can't click any planes, I can't click any passengers. Okay, this is really strange. So I guess I will save the game and then reload it, which is annoying because it will mean we will lose all the offers that have already loaded in, and the whole thing will have to load again, which will take probably an hour. But okay, let me just try to reload the game and then hopefully it will work again. Alright, so we are back. This of course has made the entire process that I described in the beginning of the video redundant. Me sitting for an extra hour and a half to get a new offers, because you can see here all the offers are gone and they will have to load in again. Oh my. Okay, well that's unfortunate, but I guess we won't sign any more airlines. And is this thing just keep on happening when I want to copy paste? The copy paste thing has always worked. What's going on here? Oh my. Nope. Okay. Well, okay, I mean, the layout does also seem to have a little bit of an issue anyway with the passengers there, but I guess we load again, and the game has crashed. I think this is the first time that I really have... that the game is struggling. I think this is the first time, and that is really crashing on me. I don't think I've seen that before. So I guess we won't be copy-pasting, but we'll just have to build it ourselves. I mean, we can do that, obviously, but yeah, that's a bit strange. Yeah, I think this is really the first time that I've experienced the game really going down like this and crashing on me, which I guess is not bad. I mean, the game has... I've been playing it for... what, how long, a year or something like this? Well, it's been in alpha, now it's in beta, and this is the first time I've really experienced something like this. I would say that's not bad. I've had AAA games that have crashed more than this, so yeah. So let's maybe just copy individual elements. That seems to work. I don't know, maybe I don't know what would cause this. When I copy the whole thing, it doesn't work. When I copy individual things, let's see. No. Oh god, no. Okay, there's clearly something up there that it doesn't like, because now my game is broken again. Oh man. Alright guys, this is a bit unfortunate, but the game just keeps crashing on me whenever I try to actually... Well, when I try to copy paste something, I should maybe just leave that alone, but I've been sitting here quite a long time for this episode. I don't feel like we've managed to do so much, which is really unfortunate, but if it just keeps on crashing on me, I'd rather wait until the next little update. They're constantly making updates, so I don't think it will be a huge issue. So while I write my little bug report here, hopefully that can help out the game developers. I think it's time to end today's episode. Unfortunately, this is really the first time that I've been struggling with the game hard like this, where it's been crashing on me time and time again. And I mean, as I said, I have been experiencing AAA games that have been, so to say, fully developed, which have crashed way more than this. And this is still in beta, and it's the first time this really has happened to me. So no critique of the game, but it's just unfortunate for today's episode. So while I, as I say, write my bug report, it's time to end today's episode. As always, of course, any feedback is much appreciated. Just leave it in the comment section below. I do genuinely read all the comments and try to respond to as many as possible. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video nonetheless, and if you have so, then feel free to leave a like. That is of course also much appreciated, and of course if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe. With that, thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and